is up to, and at the same time tell you how you can engage with some of these activities and benefit from them. So that's the idea behind this session today. So we are planning to keep the presentations down to about 30 minutes, and the rest of the time we've left aside for Q&A. So to begin with, I'm Mudit. I hit the marketing forum right now along with Shehan. And let me start off by giving you a idea of what the marketing forum does, because I'm sure some of you are new to the overall marketing forum and the SLASSCOM as a whole. So the marketing forum is the forum within SLASSCOM that has the mandate to drive the the brand for the industry, that is the Island of Ingenuity brand, and we will touch on that later. We'll give you a full run through of that brand later, as well as increase export revenue for the industry. So the marketing forum is the group that has the mandate to drive both these initiatives. And in order to do that, we have organized ourselves into a number of work streams. So that's how we have split up this work, because it's a sizable task, and it's definitely one that where we can use a lot of help. So we've chosen to focus on a few areas to begin with. So right now, we have a works penetrate new markets and increase our revenues. And we will go into this in detail at the tail end of this presentation, where we will introduce the latest activity of the marketing forum, the SLASSCOM referral program. And then we have another work stream working towards skilling up the member companies, specifically in marketing and sales tasks. We see that there is a fair amount of there's a fair lack of knowledge and a fair amount of upskilling needed for the industry overall. And this is not, it's not that the folks within the marketing forum know it all. It's very much that we also need to learn ourselves. So therefore, we are looking to engage experts and draw in experts, particularly for the marketers in the IT industry. There hasn't been a forum to sort of upskill and improve their skills over time, and we're trying to create that. And in order to do this, of course, one key thing that we need is the engagement of the business development and marketing folks in the industry with the forum. And then thirdly, we are looking at how we can create more visibility and recognition for the IOI brand. So the country brand is the Island of Ingenuity brand is key to the work of the marketing forum for everything that we do. Not too many of our client markets and our clients actually really reach this. A lot more to be done here, and what we are doing so far is we are basically we are also engaging with external stakeholders. When I say external stakeholders, I'm referring to bodies like the foreign missions of the Sri Lankan government, foreign trade chambers, Sri Lankan professional associations overseas in our target markets. All of these organizations that can help and contribute to our cause in different ways. So we need to engage these stakeholders. We need to educate them about what SLASSCOM is up to. And we also need to coordinate and synchronize their marketing efforts, because otherwise there have been instances in the past where ITA and another like SLASSCOM going and taking different messages to the market, doing activities that are somewhat overlapping, and therefore there's unnecessary duplication of effort and so forth. So we're trying to streamline all of that, and we will introduce you to some of the work that we are doing on that front as well. And finally, of course, we need to create more knowledge resources about the market to entice investors and potential clients who are interested in coming into the country. And to that end, we are helping to launch the State of the Industry report that will be done next So before I hand it over to the individuals who are leading each of these work streams, I'd like to walk you through our organizing principles. And I think this will give you a sort of a teaser for how we are trying to organize activities of the forum this year. So firstly, we are quite keen to focus the activities of the forum. It's very easy to get overwhelmed by this huge targets that we have set for ourselves and try and sort of run in all directions. But without doing that, we want to be very consistent, and we want to focus on a few things and execute those things well. So focus is a driving principle that will boil down into everything we do. Everything from the starting from the message that we want to send out to the market. We want to make it very consistent around IOI and the activities that we select to tackle at any point of time. And then secondly, we want to standardize things that we do. Because there is collateral, there is information being requested from you, the member companies, for multiple purposes in almost similar formats, perhaps slightly differing formats. So we want to standardize all of that information, all of those templates, so that this you as the member companies don't need to keep submitting the same info again and again. And at the same time, us as the SLASSCOM and other bodies that can help us, like the EDB, have ready access to that standardized information pack without having to, request from it, send out, EOIs and call for proposals like every time they're trying to roll out a program. And then thirdly, we want to focus on activities that have a snowballing impact, essentially activities that can build up momentum over time, as opposed to one and done type of activities, because we see that that's a dire need. A lot of activities that we focused on the past have been these sort of one-shot activities, and we see that there is more value for money and ROI in the snowballing impact approach. And finally, I think we are all adults. We all understand that we are all keen to grow our own companies. So whilst we are keen to do that, if any company wants to benefit from the marketing forum's activities, it's imperative that the company engages. So all the activities that we are going to present to you now are structured along this approach. You will have to engage. You will have to keep engaging if you are to benefit. So without further ado, let me hand it over to Pubudini, who will take you through the first work stream that I was talking about, how we are helping to skill up the industry in terms of marketing and sales practices. Pubudini, over to you. I'll keep sharing my screen, but you can talk them through it.
Thanks, Madhu. Could we go to the next slide? Hi, everyone. Good morning. I hope you all are having a good time and keeping safe. So as Mudit explained, I'll just run you through on what we have been mandated for this year. And then subsequently, I'll take you through what we have done so far and what we're planning to do in the next few months. So under the mandate from the Marketing Forum, we are looking at doing a few marketing technology workshops. This is basically trying to kind of look at areas that are difficult or bottlenecks for companies, member companies, and seeing how we can add value to them and try and kind of ease out those difficult areas by bringing in domain experts to discuss and kind of give ideas on how to move forward. We're looking at doing a few learned workshops, lessons learned workshops. These are from past events or past visits that we have done overseas on delegations. This will be planned in the next few months. We're looking at bringing in people who have traveled previously on country missions and kind of sharing their best practices or lessons learned on those workshops. Could I go back? Yeah. And then the third one would be where we would get member companies to engage with the marketing BD heads, again, to share best practices on what they have done so far so that pitfalls can be avoided by new companies trying these areas. We're basically trying to help out the companies to identify what works and what doesn't and upskill them. Could I move to the next slide, Madhu? So in our marketing technology workshops stream, what we've done is we've had 4 workshops. actually webinars. These were planned by in consultation with Pandemic Punditry. So Pandemic Punditry is headed by Lavendra De Silva and Karthi Ratnam. They're basically, they host webinars with domain experts on certain areas that relate to sales and marketing. And what we did was we actually tied up with them, we were sponsoring the webinars. So the first one that we ran was building a scalable sales engine. This was the WSO2 story. This is where Sanjeeva Veeravarna and Devika Randenia told us about their story of how they started the company and the pitfalls that they faced, how they overcame those areas, and how they actually came out strong. Next, we had Colin Anderson coming in talking to us about branding and how we should be looking at branding in these current times, given the situations right now. And then we had Graham Hawkins, who came in to talk about digital sales transformation. Because right now we aren't able to do sales or marketing activities like we used to. We are unable to travel overseas. So we need to look at different ways of changing our strategies. And Graham actually brought in quite a lot of ideas on how we should look at things objectively and strategize that in a way that it would actually make sense going forward. Next, we had, Mudit, next slide, please. Next, we had a workshop that we planned. This was actually a very specific workshop planned for the member companies. We sent out an invite for anybody who would like to join in to register with us. It was a closed session. So this was basically a CXO sales and marketing workshop. This was our first in the series, an interactive session. So it was again headed by Lavendra and Karthi. And we had the domain experts Colin Anderson, Anubhav Ahuja, and Sanjeev Goyal joining. So we had quite a few people joining us, actually about 30 odd registrations and actual participants for the session. Quite a lot of questions were raised by, interesting questions were raised by Anishka Ranabahu, Dilshan Pereira, Gehan Dias, Irfan from Vermi, Preston Fernando, and Shihab Rizan. These were really good questions and they were interactive. They were one-on-one discussions with the panel, as well as Lavi and Karthi. And I believe that they got a lot of value out of those questions that they raised. So given that that session was quite successful and we actually ran out of time, we were thinking that we should probably have a second session. So the hosts are quite keen on it and we are in discussion with them right now. We will shortly send out a questionnaire or a sign-up form, which basically we're looking at targeting it to the CEOs, COOs, CFOs, CROs, and CMOs of all SLASSCOM member companies. So this will again be a very closed session where you would be able to ask questions, and it's a very interactive session. Ask questions on very specific areas that you would like to kind of iron out or where you're facing a bottleneck. The sign-up email will be sent out by SLASSCOM shortly once we have logistics in place. And we would really like to see you at the workshop. It would be a good session for you to join in, ask questions, and kind of understand how we can help and support you in your endeavors in terms of sales and marketing as well. Thanks, guys. Over to you.
Thanks for that great roundup, Upudini. And guys, I think the final word here is that this is an easy way for you to tap into global experts and get their advice and expertise for free. So I would say it's a great opportunity for all members to utilize. And we haven't seen the amount of engagement that we'd like to see so far. So I think going forward, we'd expect to see more companies stepping up and making use of these opportunities. So now I'll hand it over to Cassandra, who's been handling the IUI branding side of things for the Marketing Forum. Cassie, over to you.
Thanks, Mudit, and good morning, everyone. So I'm sure that at least half of you here would be familiar with the Island of Ingenuity branding. So the Island of Ingenuity is basically Sri Lanka's unified branding for the ICT and BPO industries. What it aims to do is to position Sri Lanka as a premier outsourcing destination for product engineering services, captive innovation centers, and services along those lines. What it really aims to do is, rather than have all these different associations going out to the global market with different messages, what it aims to do is bring about a unified message that we in turn can share with the global marketplace. So it highlights many of our benefits, and then what it really aims to do is differentiate us from regional and global competitors. And I'm sure many of you would have been part of the efforts that took place over the last year or two, where the different stakeholders of IOI actually got in touch with you to generate case studies, videos, and a lot of other content around this area. So I think if you aren't familiar with the brand, what we do recommend you do is visit islandofingenuity.com, which would answer a lot of your questions. And Mudit, I think you can play the video now.
Yeah, so we'll try to give you guys a very short brief about the brand through this video.
Mudit, why we are not getting the voice?
Hold on, you are not getting audio, is it?
Yeah. At least I don't think anybody.
Yeah, the
are the
audio
others?
isn't playing.
Hmm?
The audio isn't playing actually.
Okay, hold on. So I could try playing it on YouTube. Let me just try that.
There is a function that says share computer sound.
Hold on. Apologies about that, guys. Yeah, my bad. Apologies about that. Let me just start from the beginning again.
Thanks, Mudit. So in a nutshell, that's a unified message that we are trying to take out to the global marketplace. And we are off to a good start with the creation of all this content. But now what the marketing forum is working towards is taking this to the next level. So one way we want to do this is to create more visibility and recognition for the IOI brand. starting with the SLASSCOM member companies, where we would really like you to familiarize yourself with the brand, and to assist us in promoting the content and creating more current content of case studies, testimonials, and other various types of content. So if you would like to be, and we really encourage you to get on board and share any content that you think is marketable to a global audience with us, you can drop an email to Dilanga to get that going. Additionally, I mean, now that we have all this content, we also need to look at doing something with it, which is our major next step. So we want to engage in way more digital marketing and using all this content in multi-channel, organic and paid campaigns to drive parties to the IOI website, which can actually materialize into actionable leads for our member companies. So that is our ultimate goal, to generate leads from global companies for our member companies. And how we want to, and this is how we basically want to get started. And what we've commenced doing is, so there were many stakeholders involved in creating this IOI brand. So there was initially a lot of collateral all over the place. So what we've done over the last month or so was bring it all together into one space. And we want to open it out to you guys, the SLASSCOM membership, to use in your own marketing and branding. It has a ton of stuff in it. Videos, photos, infographics, case studies, like even while you're pitching your own company to prospective leads, there's a lot of content here about Sri Lanka as an outsourcing destination that you could definitely work into your own content. And we really encourage you to take a look at this database. I believe it was, the link was emailed out to you guys, but I think we can share it once again. And do take a look at all the content that's available. Check out the Island of Ingenuity website if you haven't already. And we would really appreciate your your effort in helping us reach this end goal of doing better digital marketing with this content and generating prospective leads for all you guys. So that's it from my end. Mudit, over to you.
Great, thanks, Cassie. So there, guys, you see a easy way to leverage all this world-class collateral. It's freely accessible to you, and Cassie and the team have done the hard work of putting it in one place. So please go use it in your own pitches. I think that's the way that we can get some visibility for this content right now. Of course, later down the line, we have plans to do a big bang campaign, but a lot of things need to line up for it, including budgets, and that's being worked out right now. But in the meanwhile, please feel free to use that collateral and put it to get it out there in the market in front of the people that it was meant for. So moving on, we'll hand it over to Vajra now, who will talk you through how we've been working with all these external stakeholders that I mentioned before, to leverage them to contribute to our cause. Over to you, Vajra.
Thanks, Mudit. Thanks, guys, for connecting. So I'll make it quick. So as the external stakeholder engagement, we are focusing 2-3 initiatives to basically get access to overseas markets. Now, SLASSCOM with the priority market study have identified close to 10 markets that we are going to focus and engage and take the IOI branding and the local companies to those markets. So this is actually mostly focusing on those markets. So what we are doing is we are actually working with the overseas missions in each of those countries to take the IT industry knowledge, IT industry information out. So missions can be our extended arms for branding and marketing Sri Lanka IT industry. So that is one of the major actions we are doing. And we have engaged with multiple set of missions. Some of the actions are happening as we speak. Some are a little slow, but we are getting there. We are getting engaged with the missions to move forward. Then what we ask from missions is to do multiple things. One is to connect SLASSCOM with the local Sri Lankan diaspora bodies, as well as local bodies, business chambers, etc. So we can get time slots and present Sri Lanka case and the SLASSCOM case. And introduce the influencers in each market to do that. So those are the main things. Then we are working with EDB and ICTA, because certain markets EDB have more connects and certain markets ICTA have more connects. So they are taking the lead role. SLASSCOM is generating, doing the basically back-end activity to support them. And finally, we are trying to generate leads for SLASSCOM members through referral program, which will be routed to members, and then members can benefit. Mudit, to the next slide. Yeah, so action plan wise, what we are actually building is a member directory, because we found that there's no updated member directory for any for the SLASSCOM membership. We have, I think, 40 to 50 companies have responded our email providing their company information. So we will go ahead with whatever we have and whatever information we have on other companies and build a complete member directory of 200 plus members and share it among all the high commissions where they can present it, they can use it in their events, they can put it in their library, lobby, they can share that information about the Sri Lankan companies in those each countries. Then we are actually working on a couple of other material. We are going to standardize the material as Mudit and Cassie was explaining, and share these material, member directories, state of the industry report, then website template for each high commission to have, which will connect to SLASSCOM, which will connect to SLASSCOM details. So it will be a standard interface for the Sri Lankan IT industry, whoever that visits those members. And then we are organizing basically training sessions and webinars with each missions to take it forward. Web presence, and finally the referral program. I think it will be addressed in detail. That we are working with each missions. Even next week, end of October, we are doing a webinar with APSL UK with the UK High Commission. So that is our first webinar to external body promoting the referral program and the SLASSCOM Sri Lanka IT industry. So we will be continuing to do those things with these engagements. So one key request is to update the member profiles, because these profiles will be published, shared among all missions. So whatever is not updated, it's actually bad for the member, where your information will not be presented in the right updated manner. That's it, Mudit.
Vajra, I think you had one more slide, and these are like,
the countries that we have identified and who's leading the initiative. So Australia and Germany, ICT said they will take it up. Then Denmark, Sweden, Japan, Belgium, and Singapore is EDB is taking the initiative, and pretty much other countries, SLASSCOM is taking the initiative. So these are the focus countries, and these are the countries right now we are engaged through different bodies. So we are actually having basically from the back-end work perspective, we are having a standard dashboard where everybody will maintain and update their updates, and we'll sync up. SLASSCOM primarily work as the content provider for EDB and ICTA, and we do webinars with them as well. Thanks.
Great, thanks, Vajra. So this list, guys, is the list of countries that we are targeting right now. So as we said at the start of the webinar, we are trying to focus our efforts so that we get the most benefit out of the activities that we do. So let's hand it over to Shehan, who will walk you through the referral program. I know that this is probably the most interesting part of the webinar for most of you all. So Shehan, over to you.
Yeah, so what we're doing here is something slightly different. So a referral program is essentially what we're trying to do is, just to give an insight before I go into this, is that we have realized there's a lot of Sri Lankans overseas who can help open doors for our member companies to help get business. And so, and as much as promoting each respective company on their own, we thought, can we do a countrywide initiative using SLASSCOM so that the referrers feel that they are not promoting one company, because sometimes when they go meet a client, the requirement is varied, that they can go sell different solutions with the backing of SLASSCOM to approach that. So we are going to create a global network of freelance sales partners, which you all can access as part of this. And during the initial phase, we are going to have a limited number of member companies to get registered. I think we capped it at about 25 people, and we're actually open right now for people interested. How this works is essentially we are going to market people to target past people associations, people overseas. Sorry, the line would have got cut. Sorry. So we're trying to get people who can bring some business in. That's the initial focus. Also, there are a lot of non-Sri Lankans overseas offered to help in terms of that. If you can go to the next slide.
Yeah, before we move on from this, Shehan, I think worth noting, guys, that right now, as Shehan mentioned, we have the EOI for joining the referral program for companies open, and we are charging now we are treating this initial phase as a pilot phase, and we're charging a one-off fee only. So it's a really good opportunity to get in, and the slots are limited, and they are going off fast. So I would encourage everyone to apply for this if they haven't done
so
already.
To give an idea in terms of the fee, also it's a very affordable 25,000 rupees, which we're charging. To be honest, there's a lot more effort being done apart from that. Just that people interested can recommend one thing. So these are the different areas we're looking at. So we're looking for software, digital marketing services, things like that. So we want people who have products and service. So if you want to be part of the program, all what you do is either contact me, Mudit, Dilanga, or anyone else, and just that's no.
I think the line is.
If you hear me,
I can hear Shehan. Can the others hear him?
Cassie?
Yeah. So right now is they are going to get referrals. So right now we are just in the process of finalizing the companies to be part of the referral program. There's still only about a few slots left, to be honest, right now. So we want to finish that at the moment. And the next step, we are going to target. So we created a deck into the part of the program. And for a lot of these people, it's some people are doing this for money, some people are doing to support the country, some people are doing for basically to support Sri Lanka also. We will actually collect all the case studies and collaterals from the member companies. So we'll be profiling them and we'll be taking to these people. And interested referrers can sign up with us. So how this works is that we will start feeding them. So we will have a contact person at SLASSCOM who will be coordinating with referrers every month, every week, sending them new initiatives that you all are doing, so that they are aware of some new technology, some new developments, things like that. So they also remember, top of mind, recall of what exactly we're trying to do. If you can go to the next slide. The lead management process. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So a referrer, how they work with us is you all do not have to pay any fee. It's they will be working for us to get business leads. However, the process how it works is that if a referrer gets a lead, if they have 2 or 3 people providing a similar type of service or product, we will sell to everyone in the referral program registered to provide that service. And anyone who's interested can connect with the referrer directly and get some details. And also get details exactly what the requirement is. Is it just a general inquiry? Is it a lead? Is something the prospective? And SLASSCOM will follow up with both parties to help track and see and help you out with the process. However, the referrers are paid on if the project on a win basis. So if you all as members, if you all register, if you all work through referral and the business gets confirmed, you all will have to pay a fee to the referrer, but that is at your discretion to pay the referrer. SLASSCOM does not charge anything for this service, and normally we're recommending as a win fee sort of a thing. So that can either be a percentage of a total revenue or can be a fixed fee, but that's something you all can discuss with the referrer for each and every project. Next slide. So the lead distribution mechanism is simple. So when a lead comes to the program manager will assess which actually category it falls under. A product leaves will be directly facilitated to the product owner. So that's what we are only selecting about 20 to 25 companies, because we want whoever's there to respond very fast. Because if a lead comes, we need to respond within a day, send it back to the referrer and all that. So essentially, service leads would be followed a thing. So we'll be introducing a service lead to 3 or more companies, and we will also introduce them to the referrer, so the referrer can decide at their discretion which company to take to them. And we'll look at that. So that's actually the structure we're trying to do. So each company registering, we're looking at one product and one service, how we can take to these markets. Next slide.
So this is just to give you guys a idea of the sort of the activity plan for the year and where we are right now. So we are right now here in the October to December phase, and we're launching all these programs. And very soon, we'll be moving on to signing up referrals. Actually, as we are speaking, while this webinar was going on, I just got a message from someone from US who's joining us on this webinar, and he's keen to sign up as a referrer. So we've already got some feelers for interest. And I would encourage all the members who are interested in the referral program, being part of it as a company, to sign up ASAP so that you don't miss out on this opportunity. So thanks, Shayan. Thanks for walking us through the referral program. And Shayan's been doing a lot of heavy lifting to get this off the ground. And we would be launching this formally very soon. So again, everyone who wants to sign up now so that you don't miss out. So I think Shahan's during Shahan's presentation particularly, the line dropped a couple of times. So if anyone didn't get some of the points that he was making, we are happy to clarify further. Does anyone have any questions? This is the time to speak up, guys.
Wow, that's a very quiet forum.
Yeah, so I think we've been crystal clear. So
okay.
Guys, I have a little question here.
Sure.
Hi, Mahesh here. Question is, this referral program, how does it, so for the benefit of the other members, it is a first come, first serve basis that each category is represented. Can there be multiple people in the same category?
Yes, there can be multiple people in the same category, and for the purpose of running a sort of a centralized referral program, we do need to have multiple people in every category. Because for instance, when a referrer reaches out with a, let's say for example, a project in the digital marketing sphere, they would expect that we have multiple options to kind of throw at them. We can't always just say that we have this one company and that is all the referral program can connect you with. So the referral program itself would have multiple companies in each vertical. And in terms of the sign up process, Mahesh, it's not first come, first served. It would of course depend on whether we get oversubscribed. For instance, we are looking at like 25, 30 companies to start off the program with. If it's not oversubscribed, perhaps we might not go with a very lengthy sort of filtering process. But if we are oversubscribed, we will most likely do some selection before we admit companies into the referral program. In any case, we are reserving the right to do some filtering upfront before we include companies in the referral program, because once the company is in the program, we are sort of taking a stake in them, in the sense that SLASSCOM is vouching that this is a company that can deliver this type of service. So we want to see some references, some testimonials from past clients, experience delivering similar projects and so forth.
So just to follow up to that, there is no cost to the referrer, right?
So there is no cost to the referrer other than perhaps the effort that they put into pursuing a deal.
Hi, this is Hari here.
Hi, Hari, go ahead.
So, Mudit, my question, I'm not based on Shayan's presentation. I just have a clarification here. Now, if there are two companies that are doing the same thing, and who is going to go ahead and select the company which should be introduced to the client?
For that, Hari, good question. And I think that's a point that we've skimmed over a little bit. We will have a panel of neutral people, a panel of folks possibly made up of a representative from SLASSCOM, representative from the other stakeholders involved. And they will decide which lead goes to which companies. And in most cases, as we said, each referrer will get at least a set of 3 companies presented to them. So it will most likely not be a case where a lead goes to only one company. It'll go through so we've set up a process where we've assigned weightages for different things. Once we have admitted companies into the program, we'll be happy to walk them through that process in more detail.
Right. So my suggestion is, that I'm talking for myself and the company that I represent. I will not be comfortable with that, to be honest. I would prefer if all both the companies are given a direct access to the client, right? And they pitch, because the client, the companies know what they're pitching. They are the best people to pitch it to the client. And if they could be given con calls with them separately, and let the client decide, why should there be a panel in between?
So this is Harry, I believe we need to kind of clarify a few points here. The referral program is connecting companies not with the end client.
Yeah, to a referrer.
Companies with
but
referrer. So the referrer is a middleman. So
exactly.
The referrer would have a idea of what the end client prefers, and is essentially representing the end client.
So what I'm saying is, he knows who the end client. He knows who the client is. So his job is to say, look, company A, you've got 3 companies from Sri Lanka who are doing this kind of work which you are requesting to do. What we are going to go ahead and do is SLASSCOM will then go ahead and introduce all 3 companies, and maybe set up con calls with you separately for them to pitch directly. Now then, once the client decides that, okay, it is with this company that we are going to go ahead, he will be in that loop. He can be in that call between the client and the end company. But if it is going to go through a separate filter process,
let me explain what
before
Mudit
going
is
to
trying
the
to say.
end
So
company.
we will send the referrer 2 or 3 people for them to decide whom they want to collect. But if there is more than 3 people matching on a database, we will filter with more than that. But if it's 2 or 3,
so I think that's what Harry is talking about. We're slightly confusing terminology here between referrer and client.
Yeah, correct.
That's what Harry is talking about.
So because guys, I have done this before, so I know what I'm talking. I've done this before, and I'm currently doing it. So I know what I'm talking,
thanks
right?
for input, Harry. Thanks for input, Harry. So basically, think of it from the point of view of a referrer. If you reach out to a program and you are connected with 7 parties, and you need to get on 7 calls with 7 parties to decide which one to go ahead with, it would be a bit of a cumbersome process. So we need to make it stream. We need to make it easy for, but we do need to have.
I'm just trying to. No, Mudit, I'm just being open and very frank here. I'm saying you need to give all the companies a chance directly, because if there's a filtration process, then people may not be that comfortable. I will not be comfortable with that.
Sure.
So this is just my opinion.
We'll evaluate and see how we can work it in. Thank you.
Yeah. So we'll see how we can work around that, Harry. So thanks for that feedback. So anyone else who has questions, comments? We are at the cutoff time, but we can go on for like 5 more minutes. So I take it that that's all the questions and comments. So anyone who has any further questions, comments, clarifications, feel free to reach out to Dilanga or myself or any of the others who presented today. And we'd be more than happy to. Thanks everyone for joining in. Actually, this got more motion and things to follow up on. So you will keep hearing from us in the coming days. Stay tuned for all of those announcements. And also, as we mentioned upfront, if you want to stay engaged. So thanks everyone. Thanks again for your time, and have a good day.
And also the link has been put on the chat box. If anybody is interested, please click the link and register. Thank you.
Great. Thanks, Dilanga. So will you terminate the call or should I?